binoculars, welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with this report claiming that Barcelona plan to spend on players for only two key positions this summer. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about Koundé and Dembele, as it has been reported that Jules Koundé have been called up by the France national team, while Ousmane Dembele has been absent from the call-up due to injury. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into it, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. It is no top secret that Barcelona find themselves in a difficult position financially heading into the summer transfer window. The Blaugrana had no margin to sign players in January and have been warned by La Liga president Javier Tebas that the situation could repeat in the summer if their wage budget is not lowered. So the current league leaders Barca will have to go about their planning for the summer very, very carefully so as to not overstretch themselves and then struggle with the registration of players. And Javi Miguel of AS has come up with a detailed report that outlines the plans Barcelona are formulating for the upcoming transfer window. As per the report, Barca plan to spend heavily on strengthening just two key positions in the squad, a new centre forward and a right back. The remaining areas will only be strengthening by, with free agents or with free signings. Targets for several positions have already been identified and work is being done so as to close the deals. Vitor Roque is the top target for the number 9 role, and talks have already begun with Atlético Paranense over a possible deal in the summer. Meanwhile, Barcelona continued to prioritize a move for Joan Foyth to strengthen the right-back slot, despite links to the likes of João Cancelo, Diogo Dalot and Benjamin Pavard. Villarreal's €54 million valuation of Joan Foyth is a big problem right now, but there is hope that it can be lowered by offering players in exchange. As for the free transfer target, significant progress has already been made on two fronts if reports are to be believed. Indeed, it has been claimed that Barcelona are very close to reaching an agreement with Athletic Club defender Inigo Martinez over a Bosman move. Meanwhile, Ilkay Gundogan also looks very, very likely to arrive from Man City in a free transfer, with Xavi already speaking to the German. So far, those are the latest on the transfer stories we have. Of course, we know there are certain areas that we need to strengthen, and therefore Barca are trying their best to ensure that they can do so and not going against financial fair play rules in the league, which have been a very big hurdle for us. Of course, right now, we all know Barca have to at least unleash €150 million from their wage structure if they ever dream of signing players, according to Javier Tebas, the La Liga president, who continue to press hard against Laporta and his management to ensure that they don't go against financial fair play, and always saying how Barca might not have been able to, or like Barca will surely not sign players in the summer. But Laporta have always come out and said, we must sign players, we must strengthen this team, despite what the president of La Liga comes out to say. So Barca continues to be linked with several players in several positions. And this report just tried to emphasize the fact that Barca want to spend just on two players, or let me say on two targets, right? Normally, we all know right back is the most talked about target and the most prioritized target. That Laporta have always made it clear that right back must be the top priority, as we don't have any tough and reliable right back at the moment, except Koundé, who plays it, but he's not a right back by default. Koundé is a center back. That is why Barca are prioritizing right back, because they know that Koundé is best suited as a center back. And of course, The center forward as well is something that Barca are looking so much to. Vitor Roque being the most talked about target among the targets that we have this season, and the player himself giving the green light of moving to Barca as opposed to the other top clubs that have been approaching him, which means Barca are in the driving seat. So as it stands right now, Barcelona are well prepared to spend their money on just those two players. Joan Foyt being the top target for Xavi at right back and Vitor Roque being the top target, of course, at the center forward, right? But the rest of the positions, in case Barca want to go for strengthening, those players will not be players who still has contract. Barca are trying to target but free agents, right? We all know even last season, most of the signings were free agents. Just about three players were bought with money. Rafinha, Koundé, and of course, Lewandowski. And Barca want to continue with that same fate, knowing fully well that the club is in a very dire situation and they need to act very, very swiftly and act wisely to ensure that signings are being made without any infringements of the rules. Then on to the final story of discussion. Barcelona defender Jules Koundé has been called up by the France national team for their upcoming UEFA Euro 2024 qualifying matches later this month. France will begin their qualifying campaign with fixtures against the Netherlands at home and the Republic of Ireland away, and manager Didier Deschamps has announced his 23-man squad list for those fixtures. Koundé, who had been a regular presence in the starting 11 for Le Bleu at the FIFA World Cup 2022, has been retained in the list by the manager. It will be interesting to see whether Deschamps uses the Barca star as a right back or centre back in the upcoming games. However, Koundé's Barca's teammate Ousmane Dembélé does not make the cut as he is still recovering from the hamstring injury he suffered back in January. Indeed, the 25-year-old has been out on the sidelines for 6 weeks now. It was initially anticipated that he could be back for action in the Clásico on Sunday, but has been ruled out of that important match. So there are reports that Barca had some concerns about Dembele being called up by France if he was given a medical green light in time for the Clásico, as it could have aggravated the injury. But given that his recovery has not gone at the expected pace, such a quandary did not arise at all, as the Frenchman is still not ready for action. He is expected to be back for Barcelona's La Liga match versus Elche right after the international break. So yeah, the list of the France national team is out, and the two players that will not play for the France national team that we have is Ousmane Dembélé and Jules Koundé. Koundé undoubtedly have been called for the month-end matches, which there will be international break after the Clásico. And Koundé, who have been doing so well, deserves to be called. Then for Ousmane Dembélé, reports are now saying he has not been called. In fact, Didier Deschamps did not call him, and most people are saying that Xavi or Barca had it was something planned. They never wanted the fact that if they give him the green light to play the Clásico, he might be called upon by Didier Deschamps, and that could maybe face a risk of a relapse, which would be a big blow for us. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.